It was really that moment there where it's that epiphany where I suddenly realized that we could actually earn our living making the world better, which doesn't really sound all that revolutionary. Everybody thinks they're making a living, making the world better by what they do for a living, even if they're just serving hamburgers. You're alleviating hunger for a moment. When you're talking about lasting change, actually improving people's future, not just improving their present, that's a very different thing. And to improve people's future, you need to take a more kind of systemic, ongoing approach to it rather than just a project by project approach. And so I've written two more books. My McGraw Hill book came out in 2008 called Rewealth, which was full of case studies of places that had come back to life in a spectacular manner. And the most recent book, Reconomics, came out in 2020. And that gets to the heart of what I've really been trying to discover for the last 20 years. Because ever since my first book, The Restoration Economy, came out in 2002, I've done the usual author, speaker, consultant, workshop leader sort of thing. And so I've been doing hundreds of talks at conferences and planning meetings all over the world, literally all over the world, from China to Poland to Mexico. And so I usually stay around for the whole conference that I'm keynoting. So for every talk I give, I usually hear at least a dozen talks. So I've probably heard more stories of revitalization successes and failures than anybody else on the planet. And as a result, I started looking for the commonalities. Doesn't China is a very different place from Poland, which is a very different place from Mexico, but they all had successes and failures. So I started looking for what's universal here. No matter where you are, what things are usually present in the successes, what things are usually missing in the failures. And I distilled those insights into that most recent book, Economics, so that anybody in any situation, whether it's a rural region trying to revive an agricultural economy or a huge city trying to cope with climate change and become more resilient, or a war torn region trying to recover from disaster, whatever it might be, that they'd have some basic principles and frameworks they could work with that would drastically increase the likelihood that they'll succeed.